So for those who've just joined us, just let me repeat again a big welcome to you and thank you for coming, and an extra big welcome to our really treasured senior yogis, teachers, one from Sydney who looks after everything in Australia, and one from India who is responsible for everything of the Asia Pacific region. And both have been following the principles of Brahma Kumari's Raj Yoga for many, many years. I think we added it up and together it's about 90. So if there's anyone here who's 90 years, you'd know how long that is. So I hope you're feeling refreshed and invigorated for what's about to happen. I think it's a treasure to have these two together with us. We've captured, and they're on stage in front of you. So welcome everybody, and welcome our guest speakers.
So thank you very much, Jackie. I'd also like to just add my very, very warm welcome to everyone tonight, and especially for Didi. We just came down from Sydney this morning and we had a lovely weekend last weekend in the Blue Mountains with a huge group of people. It was a very wonderful atmosphere. Tonight we're just going to explore the power of meditation, and also perhaps how we can move forward in our meditation practice. And I'm going to start by asking a few questions. I'm going to initiate a bit of thinking, but there will be a little bit of time for questions from you at the end, and we will finish with some meditation. Does that sound okay? Is that okay? I just thought that before we get into the meditation, it's always good to get to know somebody. So I just thought I'd ask Didi, and as Jackie said, Didi means like a sort of an affectionate way of saying elder sister. You know, tell us a little bit about your life, Didi. You know, where you grew up, your childhood. She studied and practiced as a doctor, but what really led you to this life of spirituality and meditation?
Om Shanti. So I grew up in a religious family, Hindu traditional family, and my father was quite interested that I become a doctor, and he was himself a social worker, so I had also inspiration to be helping poor people in rural area. So I took medicine, but as I finished my medicine, the head of Brahma Kumaris, she was in Mumbai where I was residing, and my friend invited me to her lecture. So she was practicing Brahma Kumaris, and after her talk she said, why don't you do the course? So I said, okay, I'll do it from tomorrow, and started next day, Monday. And then I thought it is a nice concept. I can do double service. As a doctor, my medical practice, and as a spiritual person, help people mentally, spiritually. So I carried on practicing this Raj Yoga from that time onwards, and it's now nearly 55 years I've been studying Raj Yoga.
So would you describe yourself as a double doctor?
Yes, that's what Brahma Baba used to tell me, double doctor, physical and spiritual doctor.
So Didi, that means that Raja Yoga is a practice of meditation. And so you've been meditating for all those years on a daily basis for maybe a few hours. Just for everybody here, how would you describe your experience of meditation? Not just the theory, but what is the experience you have when you sit to meditate?
To start with, I started practicing soul consciousness. And then gradually, on a theoretical level, on remembering God and churning knowledge. But as I kept on practicing meditation, there was that experience of God's love, God's teaching, knowledge, so clarity of knowledge, and all the powers that we are talking of God, love, peace, happiness, mercy, etc. So I started gradually experiencing all of them. And especially I would say that before meditation, I wasn't so much courageous, or I was brought up as a young girl or young lady in a very protective environment in India, where I never used to go out alone in a new place. Remember, even when I went for my medical interview, my uncle was with me, accompanying me, because it was a new place. First time I was going to the university. But after studying Raj Yoga, I could travel anywhere by myself, because I traveled many countries where there were no any BK family, no friends, family, nothing. And I went there by myself, traveling alone. So I received a lot of courage, and yeah, it was understanding and faith that this is the truth, because my family was traditional Hindu and they believe in Lakshmi Narayana and the deities, whereas I went to incorporeal Shiva. So first my father was saying, what is this? You've gone straight to incorporeal without going through gurus and deities and all. But I said, that's what I find is good for my experience, and that's what I would love to follow. So he said, that's fine, keep on doing whatever you like. So I think I was lucky that though in 1955, when I passed my inter science, when I told my father, okay, I want to study medicine, not get married. He said, okay, that's fine. In 1962, I said, I want to follow Brahma Kumaris. He said, it's fine. He said, I don't want to get married. That's fine. So the thing was, my parents were cooperative, whatever I wanted to follow lifestyle, because Brahma Kumari's lifestyle is totally different from their Lokik lifestyle. But they didn't mind. Because otherwise in an Indian family, if you go home and don't eat food cooked by them, it will be like a something drastic. But they said it's fine, whatever you feel comfortable, do it. So it was lucky for me.
You've just described how, that your connection, your relationship with God gave you courage in your life. There's so many people in the world who have a love for God, a belief in God, but how would you really describe your relationship with God in a very intimate or personal way? How has that relationship become so important for you?
Because in devotion we used to sing, "Oh God, thou art my mother and father and friend and teacher and guru and beloved and everything." So what I found was, as we call God Shiva or Baba, I found all relationship with him very easy, because even in devotion before coming to Raj Yoga, we used to say God is Father. Then as I was taught this knowledge through Baba or Brahma Baba or Shiv Baba, whatever it is, so it was easy to accept him as a teacher. For guidance, so rather than going to my Lokik parents or friends, I used to go to Brahma Baba and get guidance as a guru. And gradually developed the relationship of a friend, keeping his company. So mother, father, friend, teacher, guru, beloved, all the relationship by experimenting, because it was not natural, but I had to experiment to experience them. So as I experimented, I could experience all relationship.
Okay. When you have a relationship with a family member or a friend, you can see them, you can touch them, they're very tangible. But you were just talking about your relationship with God, who's incorporeal or non-physical. I think that's the thing that a lot of us would like to hear. How do you make that very practical? How do you really feel that more than just a belief? How does it really become a tangible experience?
Because what I experienced is Brahma Baba and Shiv Baba, they were working together.
Maybe you should describe a little bit Brahma Baba and Shiv Baba.
So Brahma Baba was a human being like all of us, and he was the founder of this organization, Brahma Kumaris. We are the daughters of Brahma. So Brahma Baba was around that time, and Mateshwari, whom we call Mama, she was also around there. So Brahma Baba and Shiv Baba, they worked together. So naturally, to be with Shiv Baba may be a little bit difficult because he is incorporeal, invisible. But Brahma Baba was practically in front of us. We could talk to him, we could sit with him, we could eat with him, he could share his knowledge with us. So it was like a practical relationship we call Bap and Dada. the father and grandfather. So Brahma Baba being father, Shiv Baba grandfather, or in other words, Brahma Baba elder brother Dada and Shiv Baba the father. So it was easy to experience through Brahma Baba.
So when you meditate, earlier you said you become soul conscious. How do you do that? And I mean, how do you connect with God? How do you see God? How do you touch God with your thoughts? Do you...
It's not seeing, because I've never seen point of light. Unfortunately, I never had any vision. But intellectually we can understand, just as soul is not visible, my life energy or soul, I can't see, but I can feel. Same way Shiv Baba also, we cannot see, but we can feel. So it was easy to visualize Shiv Baba and take intellect to the soul world. Just as you might not have gone to America, but if your friend is in America and they are sending you photos of their home and whatever they are doing, activities and all, by seeing the photos you have clear picture of where they are, what they are doing, etc. In the same way, Shiv Baba, knowing him through divine intellect, it's easy to remember him in a soul world.
Okay. So when you meditate, one of the things I think a lot of us find challenging is concentration. Is that true? How long can you concentrate for? 2 seconds? 1 second? We all know how fickle the mind is. So what do you do? How do you keep your mind naturally focused or attentive? And you were using the word remember, remembering God. Do you want to just unpack that a little bit? Just how you keep your focus?
When you know someone, when you have relationship with someone, it's easy to remember that person, isn't it? Even if they are very distant. The same way, when we know Shiv Baba, when we know his mother, father, friend, beloved, etc. And thirdly, when I am receiving love and powers through him, naturally, a child, even if he receives toffee or peppermint, etc., he will remember the neighbor a lot. As soon as he will see a neighbor, he will say, "Uncle, uncle, what you have brought for me today?" And when Shiv Baba is giving us so much knowledge, love, peace, happiness, it's easy to remember. And moreover, the lectures that we have every morning, we listen some of the points. So it's easy to revise, churn, implement in our practical life. So remembrance may not be just remembrance, but it is including in attainments, in churning of the knowledge, and trying to imbibe powers from Baba.
Thank you, Didi. One thing is like you've been describing your meditation practice, that remembrance. But I think for many of us here, how does that translate into everyday life? And how do you feel that relationship you've described, that connection, has transformed the habit to worry about things, to feel anxious about things, to feel nervous about day-to-day activities? How does the relationship really translate into your practical day-to-day
It's like
work?
just when a child has parents around, will child be worried about anything? Same way, if I know my Father is Almighty, He's providing me whatever I want without even asking, and He is always there to help me, then why should I be worried or anxious? And meditation helps us to relax. No stress. So as I have this awareness of a relationship, that I am child and my Father is Almighty Authority, don't have to worry. Give my problem to Father or Mother and let Him sort out those problems.
Is it easy to do that?
Establish relation and it will be easy.
Actually, I've known Didi for about 43 years, and I can say that she really, what she says is very real in her life. She doesn't worry about things and remains quite light. And so when the inevitable stuff comes of life, as you know, all the stuff in families, relationships, all the worries, the mind goes into overdrive. Didi, what do you have any particular practices, like if there is a problem or a difficulty, a challenge, someone's behavior is inappropriate, do you consciously not think about it, or what do you do in your mind, or how do you get power from God not to react internally to the inevitable problems of life?
The thing is, we know it's a variety drama, variety actors. All are not hero actors. There are some who are villain also. So it's a variety personality in this human life. So just remain observer, and because Baba brings benefit to everyone, as Baba's child, my duty is to bring benefit to everybody. So if I have good wishes, I can bring benefit. If I have negative reaction, I can't bring benefit. Because if you love someone, you can help them. But if you have animosity, anger, negative feeling towards anyone, you can't help them. You can't help even yourself. Because if I'm negative, I wouldn't be feeling internally peaceful, happy. And that's why, reminding myself, I'm a child of a benevolent Father. I had to bring benefit to the souls. That's my job, to bring benefit to others. Whatever I have received from Baba, I had to share with others. So having this awareness, I maintain positive feeling for them, and gradually they will change. It takes time for anybody to change. Nothing changes overnight. So we have to be just patient.
How patient do we have to be?
You have to be immensely patient. Because it takes a long time. Even after making effort, we take such a long time. And poor them, they don't have knowledge, they don't have Baba, they may not even change.
You were just describing a term, a detached observer. Sounds great, but I mean, when someone's angry in front of you, or someone rejects you, or even criticizes you, can you remain detached at that time? What's your experience?
Because everybody will have their own opinion, isn't it? If I maintain self-respect, I don't expect them to give me respect. So their rejection means nothing to me. I have accepted myself. God has accepted me. So what do I care for others' opinion? So people are negative, and they don't see good virtues of people. They are usually seeing weaknesses of others. That's usual human mentality. So that's where I have to remain detached observer of their opinion.
So do you just remain detached, or can you even have good feelings for people who reject you or get angry with you? Is that possible?
It is possible. It is possible. But sometimes this, sometimes that.
What does that mean?
Means sometimes I may not have good wishes. I said, don't care for them. Whatever they think, let them think. But sometimes I say, poor people, they don't realize what they are thinking, doing, etc.
I think for many of us, when we sit to meditate, we have a very pure feeling in the heart. I really want to have a good connection and feel that quality of peace internally. But sometimes all the unfinished business of life, all the problems or the memories of the past just flood into the mind and take over. What would you advise how to deal with that sort of chronic thinking and analysis of the self and others?
What we have to do is observe our mind and don't let it think whatever it is thinking. It's like, mind is like our child. No? If you are observing your child, and if the child is doing some mischief, will you keep on tolerating? You will be a little bit firm with the child and say, come on, sit down, don't do this. In the same way, you have to tell your mind, come on, not think this, think that. So because I'm sitting in meditation, I have to guide my mind, whether lovingly or strictly. It's up to me, because sometimes loving